The manhunt continuing for 62-year-old Frank James, now officially named by the mayor a suspect in that subway mass shooting in New York City. As we take a live look now at the Brooklyn Bridge in the center of your screen, a live EarthCam feed from Lower Manhattan right now this hour. The investigation spanning out right now. For the latest on the investigation, national correspondent Mike Carter has the latest on this story and this investigation. Really, tell me about the investigation, but also, Mike, have you noticed less people in the subway today versus days before?
We have, Sean. I was just going to mention that. Now, this is obviously anecdotal, but, we've been in Times Square and now Herald Square. This is the middle of Manhattan where Macy's is, the home base of Macy's. We're right below that now. It's the nexus of 8 subway lines, John, including all 3 subway lines that were involved in yesterday's attack. You've got the D line, you've got the N line, and you've got the R line. Now, all subway lines in New York City as of 6 a.m. this morning, the MTA tweeting out, are open. What we've noticed, though, both in Times Square and just south of there here, another tourist area, not a lot of people. Of course, there are still people. It is New York City, but for anyone who's lived here for any matter of time, you are noticing there aren't as many people as you would expect, especially during rush hour time and now as we head into the afternoon hours. Take a look at this. This is something that was brought up yesterday by folks we talked to at the scene. Cameras. You obviously have them at some stations, but not all stations. This is something that MTA union officials we spoke to yesterday, they want to see more of these. They want to see more police officers in these subway stations. And we're also learning more, Sean, about who this man, Frank James, is at this hour. As we go into day 2 of this investigation, we're learning more about James's social media presence. He's even actually called out Eric Adams, the mayor of the city, in recent recent social media posting, saying, quote, Eric Adams, what are you doing, brother? What's happening with this homeless situation? He said while referring to the subway system here in New York City. Quote, every car I went to was loaded with homeless people. It was so bad I couldn't even stand. I had to keep moving from car to car. Now, it's important to remember, guys, we're just a month removed from a homeless serial killer here in New York City. You had a man who was shooting at 5 homeless men, both in Washington, D.C. and New York City. That man murdered 2 homeless people, allegedly, was captured in Washington, D.C. last month. Here we are a month later. You have another person who's not even from the area. This person's from Wisconsin and Philadelphia, but is in New York City shooting at people. Now, the use of terror is what's being debated right now. You have New York City's police commissioner saying this is not terror related. You have Eric Adams not being afraid to use the word terror. Sunset Park, the neighborhood where this incident took place, it's a Hispanic neighborhood. It's an Asian neighborhood. We've seen a lot of images of folks on that subway platform. Some of them appear to be Asian. We don't have a motive behind this, but that is something else that investigators are looking into right now. But the most primary source right now, the primary reason we're here talking about this issue, this is still an active manhunt. This person, Frank James, is still on the loose here in New York City for parts unknown. That's what is on everyone's minds right now. John Neva?
Yeah, $50,000 reward for any information on the incident here. 1-800-577-TIPS if you have any information that on Frank James or whereabouts. Mike Carter live for us. Again, there's the suspect as now named by the mayor on your screen. Mike, thank you. Joining us now, former NYPD Transit Chief Joe Fox back on the show. Joe joined us yesterday through our breaking news coverage, and we appreciate you coming back on here. I want to skip to the cameras, actually, if I can. Because there was a major security flaw in which it was said that the subway cameras glitched during this time. There's a headline on CBS News that reads, Brooklyn subway shooting, sources say cameras inside 36th Street failed to understand maybe why this wouldn't be working, but most importantly, why it would not have been caught by someone, that it's not working.
Yeah, well, the MTA obviously has a lot of, self-analysis to do and figure out why in their own quality control checks, along working with the NYPD. Those cameras are vital. We know how important they are. But what I can tell you is with all the improvements that have been made in the MTA system, it's an archaic system. And I mean, we've worked, discussed and asked for cameras on the trains, on the subways. with Wi-Fi, and it was just so beyond costly. Just the way the system's built, it was every time I went for that, I was satisfied that it was undoable at the time. But like everything else in public safety, that absolutely will be revisited now. And as well as the cameras at the stations, which should be working. So they're going to have to figure out what equipment they're using and why. I mean, thankfully there's probably video that the detectives have that has not been released.
Right. So
for the people who did that, we're sure that's going to be helpful. Not only in they'll find him. Rest assured, it'll be any hour. I don't have that on inside source, but I know NYPD detectives. You don't want them after you. They'll find them, and then they got to prosecute the case. And so those cameras will be helpful. All the private video people did. Just
with your sources, with your knowledge, would you say the suspect would still be in the New York City area?
I can't. I can't. I'm not putting that much pressure on people. They have a lot of work to do. I can tell you that probably hundreds of detectives have not slept since yesterday, and they wouldn't have it any other way. And they will find him. And to the point about riders not feeling safe, I just want to point out to everyone rest assured, this guy is not on a subway looking to hurt more people. He's hiding. He tried to he hid, he ran, he concealed himself when he was doing this. So he's hiding someplace, about to be caught. It's tough. It's traumatic. We feel for those poor victims who can only imagine what that was like.
Sure, Joe, but let's face the facts here. I mean, he's not the only one that's capable of doing this. If we're just talking facts here, right? And we're showing live video of Times Square, Herald Square, again, popular areas of traction. And there's not many subway riders there right now. So no matter what, you've got to make folks that are visiting New York City feel safe again. And what the mayor wants to do is implement more officers, perhaps, in various subway stops. Is that the way to curb this? And really, do we even have the manpower to do something like that?
They'll find a way. They're doing it now. There's all kinds of resources. There's overtime. There's extending tours. There's moving police officers. It's a big NYPD. I'm sure they've already moved officers from the street down to the platforms and the subways. There's more presence now. I've spoken to some commanding officers yesterday who were working through the night, making sure of that with the deployment. So there's the officers that you'll see and the ones you won't see. So there's definitely an increase in deployment there. Regarding transit crime, it's very it's topical, and it makes us feel very vulnerable because there's no place. We're kind of stuck in a subway. But just to give some perspective, even today in April of 2022, transit crime is 2% of the crime in the city. So the bigger picture here is what's happening in transit. But even this perpetrator mentioned how disgusted he was with the homeless. So the policies that we've seen in the last couple of years that have turned our city, the streets, the subways, into a place where homeless people feel safe to just hang out, quality of life. I mean, when you stop enforcing, when you set a signal that laws are not important, when you do that, as all of these elected officials, Eric Adams is trying to turn that around, but he's going to need help. He can't do it alone. When you set a signal back in 2020 and before that, years before that, under Mayor de Blasio, that, crimes are not important. Well, that cascades down to everything. And that's why we see, I walked in Times Square the other day, and, half of some of the sidewalks are taken up by vendors. Why? Because they've decriminalized vending. So when you write someone a summons and he tells you his name is Mickey Mouse, you have to accept that. Yeah. And then he just moves and goes and takes up shop someplace else. So they've sent messages that, law and safety is not important, and this is what we see.
Well, many voters thought putting someone with an NYPD background into that office would curb violence. Violence continues to go up. I know you broke it down by transit, but overall in New York City, that has got to be something that has been addressed at a top level. I'm out of time with you, but Joe Fox, I do appreciate your time. Thank you for that very much. I know the viewers appreciate that.
Yeah, really good stuff there.